A very, very poor senator, and my father was a good president, he would still be a good president, no matter how poor a senator I was. If I'm a very, very good senator, if my father was a poor president, he would still be a poor president. Now, perhaps the vindication is the recognition that in fact, at the grassroots level, the support of the people was never taken away from us. That is something that we have always said, that in the years after '86, despite everything that came out in the newspapers, despite all of the opinions that were being made, that the Marcoses had overstayed their welcome, that the Marcoses were vilified, that the Marcoses were unpopular and unwanted in the Philippines. That has been proven over the years. That to be simply not true. And that the events of '86 were clearly still just a power grab. People have referred to it as a revolution, but I cannot see when the revolution occurred, because a revolution is a change of social order. The poor people are still poor, the rich people are still rich, the people in power, the names in the different ways are still the same. And so there was no revolution. It was just a change of government, but with the attempted coup d'etat thrown in. So that just to illustrate, when I first arrived, I arrived in Manila in October '91. I was the first of my family to arrive. And when I was at the airport, the welcome that I was getting was so, it was more than warm, it was wild. I mean, the airport was full of people, and the crowds were lining the street to see me arrive. And before I left the airport, I asked to go to an office to make a phone call. And they took me into this office, and I called my mother. And she immediately started scolding me, saying, "What are you doing there? What did you do? You did not tell me that you were going." I said, "I did not tell you I was coming because you would not let me go if I had come." And I said, so how's everything? And I said, "Mom, come home. It's not true. It's not true what they're saying, that we will be killed in the streets, that people are waiting to hang us by our necks, that people are waiting. It is simply not true. Come home. It's safe. It's all right. Nobody's going to be. It's not what people say." And so that sense has never left us. That sense that the people were still behind us. That at the grassroots level, people still appreciate the service that my father and my family have given to the country, and that they hope to continue to give. As to the question of the assassination of Ninoy Aquino, well, we were not privy to the investigations that happened afterwards. You know, I think all of you who knew my father would know that he was a very deep thinker with a great deal of foresight. And to be involved in any such notion that he would be involved in the killing of Ninoy Aquino is to go against the grain of everything that the man was. And if you knew anything of him, that it is not simply, not only is it, would it have been morally repugnant for him to do such a thing. Second, furthermore, it simply would be a bad move in terms of politics, because as we see, this is the effect. As to who, in fact, was responsible, well, that's still an open question. And it has always been I'm always a matter of I don't know, I cannot understand that since Cory was president for six years, from '86 to '92, surely in those 6 years, being president, you have access to every single piece of information and intelligence, and you would be able to find out. Now, I cannot believe either they did not have control of the so-called organs of government and were not able to actually get the information, or they got the information but it was not to their liking, so they did not make it public. So these are the only conclusions I can arrive at. I cannot, as to the specific details of what happened, as I said, I have not been privy to any of these discussions, to any of the investigations that occurred. But it simply, up to now, I mean, it should not really be a mystery. And perhaps now with his son sitting in the palace, perhaps we will get some closure as to what really happened in 1983 in the killing of Aquino. Up to now, and I think it is important that we close that subject by coming to by finding out and making clear who it was that was responsible. I think it is important because we are being held back by this issue of the Marcoses and Aquino. This country still needs to close that wound. And it is, we are slowly getting there, but in my view, not be enough. And that is why all forms of reconciliation are welcome, all kinds of partnerships between all parts of all different facets of the government is always welcome and a good thing as far as we are concerned. But yes, it is strange that it is now 2011 and the events of 1983 to this day are still not clear. I hope that I had hoped that President Aquino, President Noynoy Aquino would be more interested and more in trying to use now his position in finding out what exactly happened. I cannot believe that a president, a sitting president, cannot find out what truly happened. So if they do know, then let's know about it, and let us do something about it. And again, that will be an important part of the healing process that still remains at this point.
Thank you very much. Good answer. Very good answer.
Thank you very much, Senator Marcos, for accommodating our request for your presence and also for answering all the questions so candidly. Our President Planit